everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you two of the most common mistakes I see in beginner blankets while I'm teaching a workshop. And those two are a missed loop and a slipped loop. Right now I currently have the blanket I'm working on. When this blanket is facing in front, you typically won't notice the mistake, and most of the time you only spot it when you flip the blanket over and look at the backside. So the two mistakes that I commonly see are a slipped loop, that's number one, and that happens when you're working on your blanket, and sometimes when your blanket is hanging over the edge of the table or you're transporting your blanket, the loops that you have could slip out because of the weight of the yarn or like the butteriness of the yarn. So this is an example of what that looks like of a slipped loop. So let's say I'm working on my blanket just like normal, and then I come across this. How do I fix it? So it's actually really easy. All you're gonna do is gonna take this yarn that's in between this loop and this loop. This is your slipped loop. You're just gonna pull it back through the loop that it slipped out on. Just like that. And then you can continue on like normal. So that will happen quite frequently if you have your blanket working on your lap. Sometimes the weight of the yarn will pull those loops outward. So I always recommend laying it flat on the table while working on a blanket. That really eliminates the chance of a slipped loop happening, but just in case it does, super simple to fix. All you do is just take the yarn of the slipped loop and push it back through the loop that it slipped out on. Now a missed loop is a little bit more complex. So the missed loop you typically only see on the back side of your blanket. So this is my front side. If I were to flip my blanket over, I would notice that I have this missed loop, which you will be able to indicate from a long patch of yarn that doesn't look like the rest. So how do we fix this? Is we are going to push this yarn through towards the front. And I'm going to grab it on the front side so I know where it is. And then I'm going to flip my blanket back over. I'm just going to follow that column up from where that missed loop is. So instead of undoing all my rows, I'm just going to follow this up, and I'm just going to only undo the column of the missed loop. So each and every one of these loops in the column, I'm just undoing until I get to that missed loop. So it'll be right here. So as you can see, this is the yarn that I pushed through. So once I find that missed loop, I'm just going to bring all of these loops that I pulled out back through. So working two at a time, starting at the bottom, the loop that's on the top, I'm just going to push through the loop on the bottom. And then I have my next two, the yarn on the top, I'm going to push through the yarn on the bottom. So I'm just bringing each and every one of these loops back up in that column only. So once you do that, just double check the backside again. And you can see that you no longer have that missed loop with a big yarn sticking out. So again, those are the two most common mistakes that I see when teaching workshops in beginner-friendly blankets. If you have any more questions, concerns, comments, anything else that you want to learn, feel free to drop it in the comment section below and I can create more tutorials for you. Thank you.